All right. Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to be talking about your brand and whether or not it is purpose-led. And it's a big thing at the moment. I don't know if you've seen it, but I've seen it. A lot of people talking about purpose-led business owners. And people are choosing your business over and above another person's business, not based on price, not based on product, but based on purpose. So what does that mean, and how can we put that into our branding and our key messaging so that you'll become memorable and you'll become chosen over and above everyone else? So purpose-led companies are literally have their businesses because of their purpose or contribution. They have a commitment which drives them to be leaders, activists, educators, facilitators, change makers, collaborators, and innovators. Profit is not the outcome. Purpose is the outcome. So profit's not the outcome for them. Purpose is the outcome. They will literally leave money on the table if it conflicts with their purpose. So I loved what Greg said earlier when he said, if it's not in alignment with what I'm trying to achieve, it does not go on my task board. And again, with reading the book Essentialism at the moment, it's exactly the same. If it's not in alignment with what your purpose is or your contribution to the world, then it's not going in your calendar anymore. And that certainly is a huge productivity tool for everyone. And it does take a bit of training. And that's why that Essentialism book is pretty good. So driving profit through purpose is more than a mantra, it's a reality, and it's shaping a new generation of business leaders to a promise of a better future. To understand, let's have a look, sorry, I just want to show you. So, as I said, I had created this webinar a while back, and when I created this webinar, if I can find it, there we go, I do have it up, so I don't know why it's not there. Ziggy's doggy renewal, let's go there, there it is. I created this webinar and there was a section in there which spoke about purpose-led businesses. And I was like, this is too good not to share with everyone, because it does make you think from a different perspective. For me personally, when I started thinking about this a little bit more, and because I was reading the book for like the third time, which is called Think and Grow Rich. So I don't know if you've read that book before. It's like my third time reading it. And one of the things was, it said, create this mission statement around what you're wanting to achieve, like what your big goal is, but also what is your contribution for that goal? So if you've got this big goal to achieve, whether or not it's money, fame, fortune, whatever that is, what is your contribution to the world for that? Like, what are you prepared to give back from an energy perspective? And I was like, never thought about it. I always go, I want this, I want that, but, I want to achieve this, but not what I'm prepared to give back to the world for that. And it was really, really good for me thinking about it, because we all know that, energy is everywhere and it's all about energy and frequency. So with that in mind, for me, it came down to, I always want to empower business owners. I want to empower them to have these three things: skills, strategies, and systems, so that they don't need to outsource their voice or outsource or be frustrated, but they can actually be more productive and play more, because play is very, very important for me, for my own self, and to be able to encourage other business owners to be able to do that. So these, I think it's 3 growth strategies. I just wanted to share with you, if it'll let me do it. There we go. How can you drive sales whilst still fulfilling your purpose? Okay, so we're not so profit driven, but more purpose driven. And these statistics were like honestly insane. So 63% of consumers prefer to purchase from a purpose driven brand. But it's important then, obviously, in your marketing to communicate that you are a purpose-driven brand and what that is. So that becomes part of your key messaging in your communication, in your online marketing. 80% of consumers say when they buy a product from a purpose-driven company, they feel they are doing some part in making a positive impact. Now, this is really important because some people can't do things. So, for example, with Rotary at the moment, we're doing a big blood drive and some people can't give blood. But if they can contribute in some other way towards you donating blood, they feel like they're actually part of that as well. And, it was just a great reminder looking at the statistic going, well, sometimes people can't actually physically give time or energy, but they're happy to contribute. So how can we make our audience feel part of that mission? Number 3 is 62% of consumers want companies to stand up for the issues they are passionate about. And again, this is really interesting because what this means is now more than ever, people won't just choose you based on price. If there are 2 things that are sitting there, and let's say a pest company, and we've got 2 pest companies, and both pest companies are selling termite and pest inspections at exactly the same price, people will choose a company based on the fact that they contribute towards a cause, or they stand up for something, or they're involved in the community. And this is why it's imperative that you actually communicate this in your marketing, because if people don't know, they don't know, right? They don't know what they don't know. They're not mind readers. So your values and your mission statements in your content marketing, it needs to be part of that content bucket that we talk about. Number 4 is 66% of consumers think transparency is one of a brand's most attractive qualities. Now, I think that this is really important because people are not always going to believe what you believe, but that's okay. That is really, really okay. There is someone for everyone, and not everyone's going to work with you. So for me, I'm passionate about business owners not needing to outsource or not having to outsource because they're actually more productive and can do things more. They can do things better themselves when they have a strategy and a system and the skills. They can actually do more themselves and they don't have to outsource so much, which means it actually brings down their expenditure. And that's one of my mission statements, and yet I have virtual assistants. I do, but I only got them in the last year or 2. Until then, I grew a 6-figure business. I was doing it all myself because I systemized and had those strategies and those skills. And secondly, for example, I say to people they shouldn't be gambling on ads, that if they don't have the fundamentals set up correctly, then they shouldn't be doing ads. And again, that's controversial and a whole bunch of people might come down on me, but there's a whole bunch of other people out there that actually get it. And they go, yeah, that makes sense. And those are my tribe. Those are my tribe. Now, then there's a whole bunch of people out there who go, nope, I'm just going to outsource it. I'm being told the whole time that if I don't like something or I don't want to do it, I must just outsource it. Well, that's fine if you're a millionaire and you've got rich parents who can pay for your marketing. So that's okay. And it does come down to attitude as well. So it is important to communicate who you are and what you want, because for me, again, some business owners might not want to play, and some people may not like the idea of having control of their marketing. That's okay. Some business owners actually like being unproductive because it gives them an excuse not to succeed. So when you communicate that in your marketing, you are more likely to attract more of the right people that you want to work with. So don't be scared to say who you are and what you want and what drives you and what your purpose is. So the world has, we know this, right? The world has become a lot more vocal about social issues, and consumers want to see how brands are actually driving purpose, and they want a brand that talks the talk and walks the walk. We know that. We want authenticity. We don't want business owners saying one thing and then doing another thing. Okay. And again, this comes down to how you message and how you market. So consumers are demanding that brands take a stand. So number 2, this was the growth strategy number 2. Use your purpose to create expert positioning. Okay, so this one over here is about positioning yourselves online so people know who you are. Okay, this one's a bit longer. Firstly, let's understand what exactly it means to be a purpose-led business, because that's going to help us to understand how it's not so product focused, but it's also purpose focused. All right. And communicating, again, you can't just have that on your vision board and say, that's how I am and that's how I want to be portrayed, but then it doesn't come out in your messaging and your marketing. It needs to be in your messaging. It needs to be in your marketing, so people know that this is what you're in. So purpose-driven businesses are set up to deliver meaningful and tangibly on their purpose. In other words, it is not enough for a business to simply set out why they exist. It's not just about the why. but also have a clear plan on how they're going to live out their purpose and practice. Okay, now that's where the authenticity comes in there, right? Not just a person like my ex-husband who talks, but never, ever delivered. Never delivered, talks and doesn't deliver, but also go out and show people how you plan to deliver on that. And I love, Tara and I were discussing this last week, because part of what she's passionate about is, Tara, do you want to unmute and talk about your purpose? And sorry, I'm putting you on the fly here as well.
Yeah, that's okay. So the main purpose for our business is to get people sleeping better in their caravans. So rather than just selling the product, that's really legitimate because we've been the customer. We traveled full time for 3 years in the caravan, and there was a real common theme. It wasn't just us, but it was all the fellow travelers we met had terrible sleep. So the purpose for us really is to get people sleeping better so that they can make the most of every minute that they have on the road. Because a lot of people have saved and planned and poured so much into getting this time with their family and making all these beautiful memories. So we are genuinely very passionate about improving people's sleep so that they can really maximize the enjoyment they get out of that.
Excellent. And can you tell us about the charity that you have aligned with your business?
Yeah, so we're also really passionate about environmental conservation and especially the reef. So we're looking at the Great Barrier Reef Foundation and looking at an ongoing partnership with them. And doing a charitable donation, which would most likely be a percentage of our sales annually, which would be going towards that. Because that's another thing. We've just spent so much time out there in the environment, on the reef, snorkeling, and yeah, we're very passionate about it. So we'd really like to put some of that profit back into something good.
Excellent. And tell us, how did that help your decision when you were choosing the plastic and the packaging that your mattresses come in?
Oh, so that's another thing. I'm just a real recycling nut, like I always have been. So we're really passionate about RedCycle, the soft plastic recycling program, and all of the good work that they do. So we've actually entered into a partnership with RedCycle as well, ongoing, which means that the plastic component, which was unavoidable in our case because the mattress toppers need to be vacuum sealed to get them out to the customer. So the box is cardboard, but the soft plastic that the topper is in, there was no way around it. There just isn't another option at the moment for that. So we've entered into this RedCycle partnership, which means that that portion of the packaging can be recycled through their program. And the money that we pay as partners actually helps them fund the recycling that they do, which is they make this recycled plastic furniture with all of the plastic that they collect.
Excellent. So who here now is more interested in Tara's business? Okay. How much more memorable is her mattress topper and protector right now, based on the fact that she has considered packaging, aligned herself with these organizations, and has a purpose? Okay. So I'm just showing you an example about that. Now, imagine if she doesn't communicate that in her marketing. So it would be good for you to make sure that that is part of your key messaging. So purpose-led businesses take people, their experiences, and their well-being as the primary end or aim of what they do. And you can see there, and again, I just did throw Tara in the deep end, but she did such a good job. And it's because we were talking about it last week that I knew she would. So they're motivated by their core mission, okay? The reason why they exist is to solve a problem or meet a need in society, and their purpose informs the brand's vision, mission, story, visual identity, decision-making, and more. And that comes down to your branding. So when we look at your branding, we look at your key messaging and the marketing, we make sure that that's in there so that that can be strong online to effectively communicate that you are a purpose-led business, because it can help you be more memorable and get the customer over everyone else. Okay. So these are 5 businesses I just wanted to show you, just in case you'd never thought of them as businesses. But Dove barely ever sells soap or talks about soap. You never see soap, and they don't mention soap. Instead, what they do, they communicate to their customers about advocating for women and redefining beauty in the 21st century. And by just doing that and talking less about soap and just talking about women's empowerment and body shapes, their sales have exploded, jumping from 2.5 billion to 4 billion after the shift. So from showing soap to not showing soap and just talking about women's bodies and empowerment. So Apple is all about making life simpler for people online and making it as user-friendly as possible. And they always talk about how using their products will actually impact your life. And if you go and watch their ads, it's all about being able to be offline more by having things simple online, which is really interesting. They are literally on the verge of it, though. When you read some of it, some of them go, yeah, product and purpose driven. They certainly make sure that they've got profit in there as well. Ben and Jerry's, their social mission compels them to use their company in innovative ways. So they're into human rights, dignity, supporting social and economic justice and communities and earth natural systems. So they've got a variety of different brands that they're constantly in partnership with, and very vocal about the LGBTQ and their rights, racial justice, climate justice, and many other clauses as well. Ikea, this is just looking at how different businesses that we know right now are using purpose-driven in their business. So they very much committed to the circular principles. So secondhand shops and the removal of single-use plastic, and zero emission home deliveries by 2025. So they've set a really big plan for themselves because they want to help reduce the climate footprint by 70% with their products before 2030. So it's a big claim for them to be actively pursuing. The last one, and this one over here is quite interesting, Adidas. They have a employee training. So they're very much about the culture of the employers that they have within their business, the employees within their business. So they actually have an employee training, which is called How to Think and Act Sustainably. And that way, they only have employees coming into the business that have an interest in that. And they then train about sustainability within their business, which is really interesting. Okay, I don't think this was the one. No, you'll have to watch the webinar to watch the rest of that. That was just to share with you some businesses and how they're doing it. So is there anyone else that's on the call right now that believes that they're a purpose-led business and would like to share? And if you're not 100%, just throw out what you think, what you're thinking of. Go for gold.
I'm not a purpose-led business. However, I've always had it in the back of my mind to align with something, but I've never known how to do it or understood it. So, and it's a tricky one with pest control. So we really love the bees, and I've always wanted to, I guess, help everyone that, you know, with the hives and all that sort of stuff and give back. Even on Sunday, we had a lady call and she wanted to, she had a swarm of bees and she wanted to, you know, obviously kill them. And I put her on, I have it at the top of my computer bar, a guy that actually does beehive removal and rehomes them so that they can keep pollinating. And so, you know, I gave her that number. I said, we don't kill bees. I said, we don't. I said, some will, but we don't do it. I said, you know, we want to preserve them and everything. So it's hard because I guess, yeah, pest control's that thing. Everyone's got this thing that you want to kill everything, and it's like you don't. But then it's hard to pick something that maybe has a purpose and you want to align with to, yeah, to look after the
I think bees is great. I think you should Google some bee charities and see whether there must be something. There must be like a bee rehoming something. So yeah, that would be a good thing for you to look at.
I've thought about it for ages, but you know, when you just sort of stop because you're not really sure how to go about it. And so I'd be really, really interested with Tara and everything, just how you actually set that even up, you know, and you think about it, but you put it to the side because you're like, have no idea how everybody else does this and how to work it. Yeah. So it's
she put it on a Trello board and she Googled it.
That's so cool.
Has anyone else got any other ideas for themselves for purpose-led business?
Can I talk?
Go, Alison.
Who was, oh.
There's two of us.
I think there's 3 of you. So we'll go Alison, then we'll go Deb, and then we'll go Greg.
Okay, mine is empowering people, raising the positive vibes of the planet, actually, to make the planet a better place.
Yeah, excellent. And yeah, I think, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Deb?
My business is completely purpose-led. It's all about educating women to get out of the eating less and training more and killing themselves to lose weight, doing it the wrong way. Like, that's the whole purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. That's excellent. Yeah, there's so much more, so many better reasons to be going to a personal trainer than simply just to lose weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Greg, did you have one?
Yeah, our purpose is to help reduce the statistic that a construction worker is 6 times more likely to die from suicide than have it taken through a work accident. And we donate $100 to Beyond Blue every time a new client starts with us, just to do our little part.
Yeah, excellent. That's a good idea as well. You know, every time a new client starts, that money goes there. That's excellent. Yeah, thank you. Has anyone else got one while we're here? Yeah, excellent. Awesome. So I think the whole purpose of the purpose-led business is to get ourselves thinking about not just why we do what we do, but what more can we do to contribute, like why we do what we do, but what more can we do to contribute to the world around us, and then put it on a Trello board and brain dump it and see how we can actualize it, make it happen. Which is pretty exciting. And, you know, there are different ways to do it. But I think for me, because obviously the marketing side of me comes out, it's really important that that then becomes part of your key messaging and your marketing, because from those statistics, you can see that people are likely to choose a business. So, and the thing is, the more profitable you are, the more you can help other organizations and other people. So there's nothing wrong with you making a profit. In fact, you're more compelled to make more of a profit because now you can help and be more of a purpose.